Thank you for sticking with us through some technical difficulties.
2 goals in the first half, but since then, they've been shut out and have only had 2 chances.
In the meantime, it is still 2-0, about 19 minutes left to play. Colin Innes wins it back in the midfield. Played wide to Quinn Matulis. Plays wide, Aiden Rosen on the attack. Defended well.
Kicked out of play here will be a throw-in for BU. It was deemed offside, so it will be kicked for Bucknell. Less than 20 minutes left to go in this one here from Nicholson. The Terriers do 2-0. Off of the goalie kick, that ball is being sent high up into the air.
Cleared by Ryan Lau. BU's back line have remained strong so far this game. Boston player number 21, Aiden Rosen, goes up in the air and is taken out. He's down, slow to get to his feet.
Falling down there, slowly getting up as a BU player. He's all right, though. That would be number 21, Aiden Rosen. BU dealing with possession. They currently lead 2-0.
Ryan Lau, nice turn in the backfield. Number 11, Charlie Holmes for the Bison, trying to go forward, but is cut out. Played forward to Andrew Rent. Tries to play a through ball to Brian Hernandez, but nothing comes of it. A nice idea from Andrew Rent, trying to do a little cut back and play sophomore forward through, but unable to.
Bison here trying to get on the offensive rush there, but that ball's going to quickly get out of play.
Number 11, Charlie Holmes for the Bison again on the ball.
For the Bison, they're trying to add their first goal of the game on Saturday.
Number 10, Colin Innes again on the attack, plays it wide to number 3, Gianluca Arlotti. Now on this left-hand side. He was on the right wing-back position in the first half. Number 11, Charlie Holmes. Nice bit of skill to pop it over Arlotti's feet. And Bucknell is able to go the other way with number 6, Marco Valentic. Number 10, Colin Innes again. Played wide by the BU back line. Bucknell's back line recycles the ball again.
Bucknell here with possession offensively in there. Defensive third part of the field trying to kill that. Here so far in the second half.
Valentic.
Sat back for the most part here.
Long ball. Ryan Lau wins the header. Had way more time than he thought. He could have brought it down and done something with his feet. Instead, his header is long and puts his team under some pressure. Though they're able to win the free kick, there was no one there to support his header. Number 2, Ryan Lau takes the ball again on wide. Plays it through the lines to Quinn Matulis. Some space to run forward. Goes around number 12, Eddie Perez Palaus. Gianluca Arlotti plays it down into the corner for Andrew Rent to try to win it back and is barely able to. Eddie Perez Palaus, a much bigger player than Andrew Rent, so Rent is able to temporarily keep the ball in play before, unfortunately, it does end up as a Bucknell goal kick.
Adding already on to his impressive season.
Charlie Holmes wins in the midfield for the Bison. Heavy touch. Arlotti is able to clear it. There is a stoppage, though. Number 18, John Roman, I believe that is down. Seems to have a cramp. His teammates helping him out.
14:04 left to go here in this contest. 2-0 is the score. BU leads. We have an injured player play on here as we have this.
Bucknell again has about 14 minutes to pull something together and get at least 2 goals to get anything out of this game. You'd expect at some point soon they'll start playing a little bit more attack-minded, less passing around the back. Possession is great, but it doesn't score goals. Valentic takes it from Lapworth. Tries to go forward, but goes sideways instead to Eddie Perez-Palaz. Perez is pressed high by Gianluca Arlotti, who trips after he passes it, but Brian Hernandez is in off the left side of the box. A slow left-footed shot is caught by Freddie Lapworth, who tries to break quickly again. Good high press from the Terriers. You'd expect to see more of that from Bucknell at this point of the game. Terriers leading 2-0 and hoping to close out with a much-needed win. Long throw by the Bison. Kept just in play, but Montali is there to catch and cover and distribute the ball by rolling it out to Colin Innes. Ryan Lau again back to Montali. Evan Morrison, long ball up towards Andrew Rent and Brian Hernandez. The two Terrier forwards are unable to actually get anything on it. And it's back at the Terrier back line again. Colin Innes has broken free the lines, plays the ball into the corner for Andrew Rent, has time to cross, and has dribbled the ball out of bounds. Rent had plenty of time, no one closing him down on the end line to pick his cross, and the ball just bounced off his foot across the goal line for a goal kick. Though they are up 2-0, the Terriers and Coach Kevin Nyland will definitely be hoping not to continue to make mistakes like that as Coach Nyland returns his hat to his head, clearly frustrated. Hernandez loses a 50-50. Bucknell to Motal. His pass behind number 11, Charlie Holmes, the freshman, out for a throw-in. Not a very free-flowing game today. A lot of stoppages, a lot of misplaced passes. Couple good ideas by both teams, though they haven't worked out too much. Here's Bucknell on the cross. They try to go in towards Motal, and it comes away to Charlie Holmes, who takes 3 touches within the 6-yard box. Way too much, and takes the shot from a Bucknell player who has stayed on the ground after shooting. That's number 5, MJ Kazura. Charlie Holmes received the cross and tried to take 3 touches before shooting, which is never going to work. Boston University closing him down very quickly and preventing the shot. Number 6, Marco Valentic across to take the corner. 3 Terriers under the ball to clear it. Boston now leaving no players up the field on the corner kick. Bucknell only leaving their 1 center back to defend. Chris Mazer has entered the field, the senior midfielder for the Bison.
Still plenty of time in this game. Bucknell here would have to score
Just over 10 minutes for the Bison to get anything out of this game. Boston 10 minutes to defend and close out the game.
You trying to get him with a shutout on the ledger this season.
The Terriers still have never scored more than 2 goals this season. They'll be hoping to today, though. If the result holds, they'll be about just as happy, I guess. Montali, again, taking plenty of time before getting rid of the ball. Next 10 minutes will be a lot of slow play away from their goal by the Terriers, trying to do everything they can just to keep it or prevent the Bison from having any real opportunity to pull anything back.
University to begin the season played 3 exhibition games.
Especially as the game starts to wind down, the next goal could really make a difference. If Boston University gets it and is able to go 3-0 up, just about anything that Bison are able to throw at them would not be enough to get points out of this game. However, if it is the Bison who is able to get the next goal and bring it back to 2-1, it could put a lot more pressure into this last just over 8.5 minutes. Caden McGrath, freshman for the Bison, checking back in. Motal, their leading goal scorer this season, has also come back onto the field. The Bison clearly keeping their attacking options on the field as Gianluca Arlotti for the Terriers tries to do a long ball to Brian Hernandez, the center forward, but it's cut out. Matthew Owusu. Wide to number 5, MJ Kazura. Number 7, Zane Domson, the freshman, also just recently checking into the game. Jumps over Ryan Lau, fouling him.
Domson in the game for Bucknell.
Number 7, Zane Domson, the freshman of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, an accomplished high school athlete, learning 4 times in soccer and basketball and an additional time in football. For the soccer team, was a school high 42 goals as a senior, 69 career goals. Clearly, someone who knows where the net is. And Bison head coach Dave Brandt will be hoping that he's able to find the net in this game too.
Smell possible postseason play. One of the 2 teams more than likely to want to see Patriot postseason play this year.
Domson makes a run across the Boston back line, dummies it. Bison left winger is unable to keep the ball in play. Terriers will be in no rush to take this throw in, opting not to pick up the ball that is about 3 feet from his foot, Aiden Rosen. Instead, wanting the one that's probably about 30 feet away.
Left to go here.
Bison doing what they can to get some shots coming in the last few minutes. Unfortunately for the Bison, all they're doing at the moment is playing it around between their couple defenders and not as close to the goal as they need to pull anything out of this game. Quinn Matulis for the Terriers breaks on the other direction, plays wide to Andrew Rent. He'll be dribbling slowly for the corner flag. Gianluca Arlotti now into the corner, crosses it. Andrew Rent wins the header as the cross goes high into the air. Plays it wide by 34, Kevin Torres, the sophomore for the Terriers. Griffin Roach pressed by Zane Thompson. Plays it comfortably to the sideline.
WTBU Terriers will have to see next week if they'll have to travel there.
Griffin Roach under some pressure. Motal able to block his clearance and put the Francesco Montali under some pressure, but Montali is again quick off his line and able to clear it out of bounds. Roach was caught under some pressure there and almost gave the ball away in a poor position. Bison will be looking for a little more of that in these last just under 5 minutes. The header off the long throw in. Zane Thompson is just not able to keep it in play. MJ Kazara, exactly. Excuse me. Boston University throwing on number 30, Aiden Holmes, I believe, another defender. Clearly trying to add some defensive reinforcement for these last 4.5 minutes. Brian Hernandez tries to get to the goal kick by Montali, but is unable to. One back by Hernandez. Played it to Matulis, who plays it wide. Aiton Rosen. Inez. Straight ball up the sideline to Andrew Rent. Good strength showed, holding off Eddie Perez-Pelaz. Valentic is able to clear. Ryan Lau trips over his own feet as he does a fake to retain possession. Long ball played over the top. Ryan Hernandez, strong, too strong, as he pushes aside a Bucknell defender and tries to chip it over the onrushing Freddie Lapworth. Unfortunately, it is both foul and he hit the chip too high. Bucknell again carved open briefly there. Again, if Boston managed to get the third goal in these last few minutes, it would really seal their first win in a month. Much needed as they go into an away game next weekend, October 15th, away to Baltimore and Loyola, Maryland. Bucknell is away the day before, October 14th, to Army West Point. As Boston and Bucknell are both towards the bottom of the Patriot League, Army and Loyola are both in the center of the table. Brian Hernandez misses a touch off the goal kick. Matulis kicks it straight up and is able to win the ball falling down again. Referee's called a free kick for the Bison. Brian Hernandez, dangerous idea there, trying to step in front of the free kick taken. That could earn him a yellow card in the second of the game if he actually managed to block it. Fortunately for him, he did not, and he escapes a sanction. Long punt by Francesco Montali. Zane Thompson on the attack for the Bison. Speeds past Griffin Roach. Cuts it back. And away. Nothing coming of the attack for the Bison again. Again, they'll want to keep it close to the Terriers' goal, knowing that a slight slip like Griffin Roach's a couple minutes ago could mean that they get something back in these last few minutes. Ball is played wide, and a cross comes in slowly on the ground from the Bison left winger. Montali is able to cover it.
After a fantastic first half performance within the first 30 minutes.
Bucknell has not responded particularly well to going behind, not seeming to create too many more chances after going behind as they were doing before. Something they might work on in training this week. Colin Innes pushing through the back line. Matthew Owusu clears. Matulis. Andrew Rent is pushed out of play with the ball, trying to shield it. Throw in for Matthew Owusu and the Bison. Just over a minute left. Boston University close to a much-needed win. Andrew Rent trying to keep it in the corner. Almost does. Is unable to. Bucknell might hope to get one more attack out of this. 45 seconds remaining. They'll need more attack than the sideways pass that was just played. Up crossing halfway. Shielded away, and they've lost the ball. Boston has 30 seconds to kill. Brian Hernandez pushing through and loses the ball. Solo run trying to beat 4 players. Motal taking it through the center circle, across the BU logo. Aiden Rosen pushing down about 3 seconds before Motal got to the space and still managed to win the ball. Seems to stay down hurt, but the clock has run out. And BU comes away with a 2-0 win over the Bucknell Bison. Goals from Colin Innes and Griffin Roach, both in the first half, means that Boston now moves to 1-1-3 in the Patriot League, 3-3-6 overall. Won't move too much higher in the Patriot League standings, but can't hurt to have another win going into slightly tougher games against Loyola Maryland next weekend. Thank you for listening to WTBU Sports. I'm Ian Caton. BU 2-0, Bucknell. Thank you for listening and have a good rest of your afternoon.